Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Pop out chat. Finish getting things ready. Hello. Doom da do do doom. Doom. Do doom. Doom doom do do doom. Doom doom doom. We're just gonna finish getting stuff set up a little bit here. Do 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 do. Doom 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 doom. Okay, let's do a full reset. All right. Now how are we doing? Tilting, tilting, twisting. Are we twisting? We are not twisting. Okay, let's re-enable some settings. Oh wait, this one can't do that. Let's go back to the one that can. Twist? Are we twisting? Do 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 do. Twist? Twist. We are not twisting. Why are we not twisting? All right, let's see. We crouching? Oh, we're kind of crouching. Let's see about getting all these things into slime. Twisting. Twisting. Doom doo doom doo 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 doom. Tracking, tracking, sending. Disables tracking. Hmm. How did we lose? Let's see. Apply hands to shoulders? Nope. What are we missing? What are we missing? Aha, there we go. There we go. Hey, and we got our twisting back. All right. All right. Gotta remember these settings. Apply VC phase tracking. Because VC phase is what's grabbing everything and putting it all together for me. We've got a bit of a lean back. Let's reset. And reset. There we go. How's that look? I have to get the rest of the blend shape set up for this guy too. That coming helpfully handily. Yes, yes. Okay, let's go over to dev. The dev. Oh, what's on tonight's agenda here? What is on tonight's agenda? Sit back and have fun. I think that's on tonight's agenda. We're gonna check the to-do list and then to do it. Tonight will be a chill sit back stream. Let's pop this into self promo. That should about do it for us. And yeah, let's see where we left off. As per usual in this last week or so, I did not have time to do anything. Did not have time to do, well, correction. I did have time to do things, and I chose to use my time elsewhere. Maybe a little workshop project that I'm having fun with off camera. Okay, hold on, we gotta... There we go. Hey, the muted sign works now. That's right. We fixed it last time. Fixed it last time so that the muted sign would work. It would work and it would show muted over me. Let me just realign my edges a little bit here. Oh, that red is supposed to be there. There we go. Where did we leave off? I was gonna add another page to my hotkey device over here. I was gonna add another page that would show what everything was, all nice and labeled, maybe with little icons, so I would know the flashlight icon and the other icons. We didn't get to that. Needless to say, we didn't get to that. Oh man, tonight it might be a little rough here. It's allergy season, so I went right from a sinus cold early last week, into straight into allergy season. So that's extra fun. So this is gonna be a low key chilling in Devon, working on the project, working on this stuff. I did take a little time to go see what was in the asset store and all that. Some things might make me want to switch over to Blender even faster. There's some lovely stuff over there. Let's see if I can pull this up here without incident. Do a new cognito window? We can do a new cognito window. It is going to be one of those nights, isn't it? Blender Market. Is doing a big, huge bundle, and where is it? Here it is. And yes, a light mode in incognito. But you get a ton of Blender stuff for 30 bucks, and it's all super useful, Do they have a... There we go, best-selling add-ons. Some things that really pique my interest, like, let's see. Retopo Flow. I think I have Retopo Flow. I think I picked that up on a different sale or bundle of some sort. Got real-time materials. Cable Rator. Looks super nice. And all these things we can export right from Blender into my Unity project. Stuff like that. Physical materials, that's nice. Kit Ops, this one's cool. This one I was really looking forward to. The newer Maya has something kind of like this with the Boolean operations, like easy Boolean operations, but I don't have that. I am using Maya 2016. And I was toying with the possibility, depending on how the year went, and if I was able to make a little bit of income off of this Twitch thing, so it could help pay for itself. I was planning on upgrading my Maya, picking up a license. I want to say it's $300 a year for the quote unquote like indie license. I forget the exact terminology for it, but $300 versus $30. And for what I'm doing, it's mostly modeling. So I would just have to get used to modeling in Blender, but using some of these cool new toys. Fit curve, that's cool. Cool new toys like these kit ops for hard surface modeling, which is exactly what we do. And cable rater for doing fun cable stuff, which we'll also be using a lot of. So yeah, it'll be it's $30 well spent, I think. Over 10,000 sales. So I think this bundle's a hit. And expires tomorrow. Got that, and I was checking up on, let's see, what else was I doing? I was checking up on Fab, so I could export things from, well, and how I would use it, for now at least, is I would get things that are compatible with Unity or exportable from, look at the giant me up here, exportable from Unreal using a plugin, and bring them into Unity to use as assets. And there's some sweet stuff I want to play with, but the issue is time. Ooh, but yeah, look at this. The trail render is still on from last time. I haven't been in here in a week. Man, that looks cool. Doesn't that look cool? And I was brainstorming on how to smooth that out, because I want to add it to both eyes, so it's not just the lens eye. The lens eye, unless you're super close, the lens eye would be easy. I could affix it to a point right in front of the eye, so like right here, right in front of the lens, and theoretically you wouldn't be able to tell. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But for the other eye, that's the sphere right here. That moves all over the place as it's simulating that it's on a little screen. One of the other things on my to-do list is to add a level of detail. So when I zoom, please don't do it. But when I zoom in even closer, you'll actually see some details pop in. It won't be this flat shading. It won't be flat shading like we see here. When we zoom in extra close, you would start to see like the pixels, or in this case, the CRT type screen. It would kind of fade into a different, different level of detail, but also a different style, but like the extreme close-up. And that'd be one way to handle it instead of switching models, is just to have it a level of detail assigned. And what in general what that means is, like, if you're really far away from something, which, imagine this being far away from me, you can get by with a lot smaller textures. All the things in the background, they're really small. You don't need 4K textures on everything. But when you're zoomed in super close, you can get all the details of my suit and such, if this were more of a finer rendered, finer textured model. But we're not. We are all low poly, which I think we're still broken. We are still broken. Maybe we should fix that. So we can use it instead of having Pepto-Bismol mode on everything. Do like this. The blending, which would be part of the post-processing stack. It gives it a neat effect, though. Too bad it's Pepto-Bismol pink. Yeah, that is a neat effect, though. Okay, let's fix that. Maybe this will be a fix the random stuff that's broken stream tonight. Like my voice. Fix the random voice that's broken. No, it's just been a long couple weeks with a lot going on IRL, and A lot going on IRL. Keeping me away from this stuff. But like I mentioned, I was able to find some time, just play around in the workshop and relax a little bit. Currently taking apart a very small drill press. It's a lathe and drill press kind of combo thing. Taking it apart and rebuilding it a bit. And funny enough, I'm going to have it in my office. I have a clean workbench over in the office, and I think I'm gonna bring it in here and leave it in here because it's my little precise machine, my little precision machine. It's the drill press fits in the palm of my hand. That's how small it is. It is currently slightly under the weather though. We need to take apart the motor and let's see if I can pull up a picture. We need to take apart the motor because it's a little noisy. It's a little noisy, but let's see if we can pop open a picture here. Oh, we can do better than a picture. We have a video. Oh, that's loud. That is so loud. Good thing you guys won't be able to hear it. So yeah, that's my hand right there. Let's see if it shows up. Yeah, that's my hand. And I won't torment you with the audio, but it sounds like a kazoo with a head cold when I turn it on and off. But yeah, so that's my hand. So this whole thing pretty much fit in my hand, more or less. But it needs a good cleaning. The bearings in here are, they're old. They need to be cleaned up. New grease. This machine was probably built in the 60s. I have a fondness for old stuff. And this is going to be a little drill press, so it'll be able to make precise little holes. Because the small part is this is 12 millimeters across right here, or a little less than half an inch. For freedom units. And this light gray part here that doesn't fit, that's a 3D printed part. Somebody had made a different version of this, a later model, this little lathe drill press combo. They modeled it all up in CAD software and then set it free on the internet. And this little gray part here works in the same spot on the old version. It just needs some adapting. But it's pretty cool that somebody made the whole thing so you could 3D print this machine and all its accessories. And it's actually theoretically usable. It wouldn't be as strong being 3D printed and all, but replacement parts, I suppose, for something that they stopped building decades and decades ago. Which I think is one of the greatest uses of 3D printing, is making replacement parts that are either prohibitive to buy or are just completely out of stock because they stopped manufacturing them, 50 years ago, 60 years ago. So that's neat. And I'm just using that one piece as a temporary part. So it's my little workshop project when I don't feel like sitting in front of the computer and coding, because I'm coding all day now. So where are we? URP. Let's get that the high fidelity? Yes. Let's see why that is not working. I think we just have the layer order set wrong here. I was fiddling with something. Okay, so that's me. You can see my shadow. That is neat. The shadow is not part of that. Okay, that one's fine. It's not that one. That's interesting. But it is this one. So before rendering post-processing... Oh yeah, after rendering opaques. Ah. So what we're doing is we're setting where this renderer feature is in the stack of what we see, the order of how things are done. So according to the one that does work, we want it after rendering opaques. And that didn't do it. Well, that is interesting. Okay, we're opaque. Layer mask is everything. Override mode none. Oh. Well, what is it doing exactly? Layer mask is... Well, that is very interesting. We're troubleshooting live. Troubleshooting live here. Well, we take the player out of there. Whoa! Well, that is very interesting. Why are we above the player layer? Wonder if we need to reorder these. We can reorder these. That is very interesting. And that makes sense because is literally putting them in the order that it is stacking them. So, okay, so we have... We might have to play with this off stream. This is interesting. After rendering opaques. Oh, that is all kinds of interesting mess ups. But it is very interesting that it works here, but not here. Yeah, we might end up fixing this off screen. Spatial wire mapping rusty. Oh, wait. Why? No, it does work. Something about the post-processing changed. Something about the post-processing changed. We'll just have to figure that out later. We will have to figure that out later, and why... Uh-oh. Did we use too many hotkeys? We might have used too many hotkeys too. Okay, we're gonna leave this alone. It is working, but it isn't working. All right. Oh, that is what changed. We went to forward plus. Okay, we're going to stop that. This is what I did differently. This is what I did differently. Okay, let's see. After rendering a page, before rendering post-processing. Ta-da! Forward Plus has some nice benefits. Yes, but this is something that we're going to fix when we bring it all into the new fresh project. Because what we're doing here is we're still dragging some stuff forward from Unity 2022. So it's a little muddled. It's a little muddled. But yay, Virtual Boy mode is back. Let's look at a glorious full screen. Glorious. One is interesting because it is super vibrant on my main monitor. Super vibrant. And then the OBS feed, it's like the colors are just muted a bit. Oh, and don't forget, we can do this in first person mode. You see our hands? We gotta find that sweet spot of the rendering depth. No, we're not gonna be able to do it today. The sweet spot is too sweet. There we go. You can see our hands. We can look around. Now, maybe not for Virtual Boy mode, or first person mode. I might not be too excited about that being in VR, but turning that off, turning that part off, and then there we go. Now we're simulating, ooh, and we have the trail renderer right in our eyeballs. Now we're simulating what it would be like to be in VR, and that is where it's pretty cool. And I'm excited for that. I should be able to do it all in one project. I don't think I'll need to have separate projects. Separate projects to do VR and non-VR modes. But that is something I'm unfamiliar with, and it is unfortunately a little bit lower down on the to-do list. So we want to get things working first. And a couple things we're going to work on. Toggling on and off the drawing mode would be a good one. I do not remember what key I attached it to. Was it 2? 2? No. So 1 is headgear. Ooh, and that looks nice. Let's see, what's the other one? Oh, also very stylish. And then nothing, because we didn't bring in the headset yet. Maybe that'll be on today's to-do list too. Dragging and dropping our various things, like our mug, our headset, and that seems like an easy win, along with fixing just a couple of nagging issues. So first of all, let us get that trail renderer, that cool drawing effect. Let's get that set up so we can toggle it on and off. What did I call that? Not exhaust trail. Here's where it helps to go back and look at your own VODs. Go look at your own VODs and see what it was you were calling things and what they were doing. Okay, I'm good. I'm glad delete me is still in there. Yep. So let's go find our hand. Oh, and our head while we're at it. Okay, let's see. We have eyes, marker. I called it marker. We're just gonna turn that off for now. Yes, but we will add it into our code for enabling and disabling. See, some of these things, will they be like equipped? Think of it as equipped weapons. Will they be like equipped weapons, or will they be specific toggles? Like, I don't want to have to turn on the flashlight, you know, like equip the flashlight and it auto turns on as I'm trying to go to the next item, which could be the marker. So it's like we would equip it, this would show on the model, and then be able to toggle that item on or off. I think that might be the easiest way to wrap my head around it for now. And I do like the idea of actually having the item in my hand. So I know when I'm using flashlight mode or not. So right now, I surprise myself frequently when I hit the wrong button. At least until I get a, my Stream Deck set up so that it shows little icons and whether it's on or not. That'd also be important, wouldn't it? Because I believe, yes, when I do the little if-then statements on here, it's Touch Portal, it's not technically a Stream Deck. I should call it the right product because it's a completely different product. And I was showing it off last week's stream, I remember that. But yes, so you can write it so that the button itself, little if-then statements, so that the button display is differently. So that whether it's toggled on or off, you can have it be a completely different color. It's very handy, very handy. So we're going to find that marker, and we're going to go for the, let's see, which arm is it? Probably the right arm. And the index finger would definitely be where, there we go, the right finger point. We have a script on there? We do not have a script on there yet, but we do have the marker on there. So we're going to take everything labeled marker and attach it to a toggle. I think we're using M for marker, so we're going to do H for hat now that that is free. So let's go open up our character rig script where we're currently hiding all of our keybinds the hard-coded way. See? And it goes right to hat. See, it knew what I was thinking. Visual Studio is just so darn smart. Too smart. Oh, and we were gonna do random hats too. Okay, we are now changing this to toggle. Fail. Render marker. And we're going to do one of these simple set actives. Especially since we don't need the hats in here anymore. Private int hat, game object hat. We are going to do marker. Look at that, we're cleaning up code. What a successful dev stream we have here. No, not hide body, not hide body. There. So what this is this is a simple toggle. it when you press key up, so when you release it, when you release the H key in this case, it sets the active state, so whether it's on or not, like a little checkbox up here. Oops, let's say right here. To the opposite of whether it's already active. The opposite of its current state. So we're setting it to the opposite, which is the not here, of whatever active state it is. Just toggles it on and off. Very simple. Very handy. Okay, so H. Got it. H. So it's compiling that script. And now we have a blank spot. I'm going to take the markers. Put the marker right there. You know what? We should do the other marker too. So neat thing about the trail render, it'll show even if for some reason it will show even if it's in the wrong thing. No. Even if the item it's attached to is inactive, it will be active. So let me show you here. So we got this. Oh, it turns the whole thing off. It doesn't just tell it to stop, it turns the whole... Oh, that is interesting. So it's still going, technically. Watch. No? It's still going after it's inactive. See, it's off the screen. And there it's a little bit left. It hasn't caught up yet. That's neat. That's neat. So it finishes out whatever it's doing even though it's inactive. There's probably a command to stop the simulation. Because technically this is sort of a physics effect. So I would imagine there's a command in here somewhere. That just turns it flat off. But this is fine for now. Won't be cluttering up everything too much. But I think a neat thing when we're in that mode, I think a neat thing would be to also turn on the eyes. But would I need to group the eyes if I want two of them? Let's find out. Or we'll just have separate eyes. Maybe we'll just have separate eyes for now. Separate eyes for now, and we'll clean it up later. How does that sound? Visual Studio. Ooh, we could toggle through the effects. Maybe. Ooh. I like this already. We should have a whole different script for this because this is something else entirely. This is something else entirely. Where did we put our item control script? Where did we do that? Not stairs. It's not in the character rig. Is it hiding on post stuff? It is not hiding on post stuff. I thought it might be. Okay, let's go for the script. Where is... What was it called again? Item container. Item container. In this case, I had the key here. And the item containers should all have their own, what is the key for the keybind. There we go, variable for keybind. Because this is what we were testing last time, or what we made and started testing last time, was our equipment slots, which I'm going to put for the number keys. Oops. Crackers. Crackers, moving about. don't have it very well attached to my body this time for the chest tracker. I do still need to have make a proper chest mount for it somehow. Maybe like a fancy necklace. Be like the guy who had the big old clock hanging from his chest. But maybe that'll be nice instead of having a chest harness for the chest tracker. I thought about just wearing a backpack, like a light hiking kind of backpack, and then where the straps are in front, just tying the phone up right there. Because this is not working. Whatever I'm doing here. It's okay for now. It's okay for now. Let's see. So for the item container, which is the equipment slot, essentially it's an equipment slot, like in an RPG or action. We'll say it's an action RPG. Good old Fallout or Skyrim or something. No, we'd have to go into a whole nother menu. Anyways, equipment slots. I want to make this script ambiguous, so that's just wherever it is attached. And then the variable for the keybind would be a key, obviously, because that's the keybind. So that this would not be hard-coded. So I can reuse this script everywhere. I can use it currently for the head. I could use it for right hand, left hand. Where are we? Right hand, left hand. Waist. Actually, like a waist right and left, so I could have like belt slots or holsters. And I like that idea. But especially for, head slot, maybe like a mouth accessory or something like that. And then right hand, left hand for sure. But also, maybe for the finger. So we can have different effects on our pointer finger. And this way I'll just toggle through them. And then the items themselves will have a use. So here it says like select item. It would be use item. And that would be on the item. So instead of having a billion toggles, take it my entire keyboard and then some. For like turning the flashlight on or off. I just have to make sure the flashlight is equipped. And then I would use the use button or interact button, depending on what type of game it is. Whether that's clicking the mouse or the E key for interacting. It could be anything, but it would be more visual and less hard-coded keybinds. I think that works best for what I'm trying to do. But like anything, there's a million ways to do things. There really is. Okay, so enumerator Unity Engine key code. So, we want this to be public. I think a serialized field would be enough. Serialized field. No. Not all of that garbage. You're being too helpful. We'll just call it the key for now. Nope. So, what was it called again? Key code? Key code. The key. And theoretically, I can put the key right there. So that should theoretically work. Okay, now let's go find out where I put item container. Head point right here. It says we have the key, we have none. Oh, it worked exactly as I wanted it to. There we go. We have assigned Alpha 1. So the number 1, brought to you by the number 1. And let's go make sure it didn't break. There. So I'm a little scattered tonight, but through that chain of all interconnected events, that should bring us to... Yes. That should bring us to what we were trying to do. Hello, Hit Rusty. No Hit Rusty. Hi, Trusty. Yes, we do have the trusty branding. There's going to be a lot of puns involving trusty, but yes, Trusty Robot Factory, a division of Trusted Telecommunications Services, or TTS. So I'm world building. Now I'm still going to go by Rusty, but maybe that'll be the nickname for the trusty communications units, like myself. Maybe that'll be the nickname that the actual users gave them. Especially considering how they may or may not be trustworthy. So tonight's stream is going to be a low-key, fixing stuff. Low-key. What would be a good term? Like I don't want to say like sleepy or low energy, feels like self-deprecating. But what would be a good term for, like, we're just chilling and coding. Can't say vibe coding or, vibing and coding or anything like that anymore, because that's a whole thing. Chill code stream? Yeah, I guess chill would be good. Cozy? Am I a cozy streamer? I was trying to think of that for a tag, so kind of like, what you're getting into with the little tags beneath the stream, to categorize what you're doing, basically. Like I have VTuber, English, robot, indie game. I did leave indie game on there. But would cozy be good? Oh, why can't you vibe? Because vibe coding, kick back and chill coding stream. Yeah, chill. Cozy or chill? I think cozy has its own connotations. Like you're more cozy than I am, I suppose. But yeah, you can't say vibe because vibe coding. Let me just spell that out for vibe coding. That's a whole thing now where programmers or coders, developers, are just using AI services and dropping everything, into the projects, and they're just, I'm just gonna engineer this this prompt here, and it's gonna spit out the code, and we're just gonna go with it. That's kind of what I get out of that. Oh, yeah. Why don't I get a welcome? Well, welcome in. You are a first-time chatter. Welcome in, welcome in. I do see you. You are right next to me. Ta-da! Yeah. Wait, do I have a hi? I have a hi. You didn't redeem say hi. That is why I didn't say hello. Can I redeem say hi? I can. Hello, Rusty. How are you tonight? But yeah, vibe coding. That's the whole thing. Oh, welcome in, Vic. Say hello to everybody here. Everybody who wants to be said hello to. There we go. Yeah, we're just taking it easy tonight. It's been a very long couple weeks between being sick and being just tired. I have a toddler who does not like to sleep through the night anymore, and therefore I do not sleep through the night anymore. So that is why we had to cancel Monday's stream. I was falling asleep. I knew I was gonna fall asleep at before stream would even start. Although, isn't that a category as I'm still sleeping or I'm not sleeping or something like that? I think that's a category here on Twitch, or at least a game. Leisure coding. Yeah. I don't know if we're going to be leisure coding tonight, but we're going to be getting some stuff scratched off the list. Just kind of chilling. Chill coding stream. We're gonna, let's see. Chill dev stream tonight. There we go. I have updated the stream successfully. Okay, so where we started with this whole process in our leisure coding. Yes, I want to consolidate more items so I don't have a million toggles hard-coded to various keys that I can't remember and that I haven't moved over to my my touchpad yet for easy visual recognition. Some of them I'm going to leave. Some of them I am going to leave as their own key, like the flashlight. I am debating the flashlight whether it's too useful. It's too useful to be able to run around in my level or whatever and just turn the flashlight on and off. So that'll stay. And some other effects will stay as the current hotkeys. And toggling between different things that are going to be part of the stream control. Yes, part of the stream control. Like the flashlight. Where are you? Like the flashlight. There we go. Ta-da! Oh, let's zoom out a little bit. See? We can still control it all just fine. And toggle it off. I don't want to have to cycle through items and then turn it on and off, like I do plan on doing with equipable items like the funny hats. And I'm going to add a lot more hats. Now, when I add the hats, I can just drop them in, and as long as they're at the right coordinates, the right relative coordinates to be considered a hat relative to the connection point or the equipment point, then they'll show up in the right spot. Like I got to get my headphones in there. I do miss my my headphone. And I'm not wearing it in the bottom corner of the screen. Let's see. The guy down in the corner of the screen, not wearing my little lovely little headset because that version of me does not have the full tracking set up. Because right now we slightly drifted a little bit. We're a little twisted in the torso here. Let's fix that without barfing. Yaw reset. There we go. So what I was just using is, does it show anything? No. Ta-da! Slime VR. And I'm using the two phones. So I have my old phone attached to my chest, and my other phone is sitting on the desk in front of me because I'm in the seated position, but I'm my model is standing. It is what it is. I don't have enough trackers to put on all the full body tracking and such. It's funny that I waved my hands when I said full body tracking because there's no trackers. No physical trackers attached to my arms. That's through Elite Motion. So the physical trackers right now are two phones. And then I can do stuff like twisting my body without being a funny wooden puppet. But every now and then you have to reset them a little bit, especially since the phone keeps shifting on my chest. I don't have it super glued to my skin yet. Oops, and it tilted a little bit. But I do like what it can do. Like, we can actually twist. We can twist the torso instead of just the whole body going. So it's nice. It's nice having this little extra bit. Okay, so the toggling code works, and now it is portable. Object-oriented part of object-oriented programming, we can now take it and apply it elsewhere. And then configure it. Yeah, and then configure it there. It's one of the things I really do like about Unity. we just take this script and we plop it on a different, in this case, equipment point, it's like set up. It's ready to go. Instead of having to write a specific script for each piece. And that's kind of what I was doing because I'm testing things out. So my control script is very messy. Where's my control script? Various control scripts. Okay. My main control script is, there you go, control lights. Very messy. So I'm starting to pare this down, pare it down, and clean it up. Clean it up before I bring it into the new. Oh, that's right, I forgot. See, it's been so long since I've done some of these things that I forget about exactly how they work. So for instance, we can change colors of wireframe mode. Theoretically, we could take any color with the color picker. If I had a color picker here instead of this wire color, because this was a script, or this was a shader that was already written, and then I played with it, I hacked at it a bit, and got it to do what I wanted it to do. Ooh, we got Tron Blue over here, that's nice. But yes, these were the colors that it cycled through, based on distance. That's what this script was originally, this wireframe script was originally for. It was to show, it was a test material for showing how far away an object was for augmented reality. And it was color coded based on that. So it wasn't gradated, it was color coded. So I think like this would be the furthest away and this would be the closest. Something like that. So I didn't get around to putting a color picker here and then just having been able to pick the exact color I wanted. There we go. I believe we were on 7. It's this lovely dark red. Rusty Rave, yeah. I mean, we could definitely have it cycle through the colors. And one of the really cool features is if I re-enable some of the code that was on there, we could have it pulse away, you know, like in a direction, like to, you know, closer or further away from us. So we get like a full RGB like pulse going out. That, I'm gonna write that down. I'm gonna write that down as a redeem. I have a separate column here that we're actually open to in the notebook. RGB wireframe redeem. Because when we have the project stable, I mean it's super stable right now, surprisingly. When we bring it over into the new, why are we facing away from me? Hello. When we bring it into the new project, I am definitely adding the interactive part of it. So we can be official, we can use that tag, that too, speaking of tags, is VIPO. Virtual Interactive Puppet Overlay. I'm not sure why it's a puppet overlay. Or why it's an overlay, really. I mean, I understand the puppet part because of VTubing, right? Why? It doesn't have to be an overlay. It can be within... It's like the opposite. It's like it's not overlaid over the stream or over what you're doing. A lot of times it's... What you're doing is within your environment. Those that coined it to be Doig Swift. And there's, I don't know, I feel it's not an overlay. It's part of whatever they're working on is within their world. I do need to add more Rust on the models. Rust mode, yes. Rusty Rust mode. Oh, but one of the things I was looking at was, I was going through Fab. Does it stand for something? I forget if it stands for something. I'm gonna fix this while I got this over here. Does Fab stand for something? But basically the Unreal Marketplace. I'd bring it up, but I think it's linked to a different account. Yeah, I was scrolling through getting the monthly free item, which I forget what it was. I think it's an abandoned corridor kind of thing. I have to check. But then I also have I added all the Quixel stuff before it became unavailable to add. So tons and tons and tons of textures and objects and everything. And part of me is just like, man, should I add another project right away and get my Unreal version going? Add another project to the stack of already obnoxiously large stack of objects and do the high-res model? Maybe when I play around with Blender some more and get those photorealistic materials, or PPR, photo-based rendering. Too many letters and numbers for this. Right. Okay, where's our camera script? I need to fix that. It's bothering me that I can't zoom in enough. It's bothering me that I can't zoom in enough, and I don't remember which script that's on. I fixed it in the warehouse project. Fixed it there. We're a little lopsided here. Okay, clamp, blah, 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 15 and 150. 150. I guess let's make it let's try 180. There, now I don't even have to go find it now. Because theoretically that updated the script wherever on earth that script is. I think it's attached to the camera itself. Here? 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 Nope. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where I did put that. But that should do it. Squeaky model. See, that's the problem. I'm digital. Oh, that did not increase my zooming. It should have. Okay, what is that script called? Focus distance. Let's go find. Let's use the tools we have. Focus distance. Post stuff. That's where it is. Ta-da. Okay, so camera field of view. Oh yes, so why would we be squeaking? We are a digital avatar. I mean, look, we have polygons and everything. We're digital. Oh, it kept the cyan. Interesting. Interesting that it kept that. Okay, so where are we? Where are we? Camera field of view. Oh, I did it backwards. We have to go past 15. But we can go really far now. We can go all the way to 180. Whoa. We can see time and space now. We can now see time and space. That's a lot of zooming. That's a lot of zooming. That's very impressive. Somewhere in there is a Rusty. There we are, folks. There we are. Oh, okay. So it's field of view and not focal length. I do have to remember that. Of course, knew it when I was playing with all this. Oh, and it says right there, field of view. Rusty, 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 rusty. We're gonna make this like 8. And you know, we're gonna leave that at 180 because it's funny. There, that should give us enough up close. When I have proper camera controls, I'm thinking here. When I have proper camera controls, I will set it up so that there's a, there we go, much better. So that there's a difference between adjusting the field of view and adjusting the camera location. Because right now we're not moving the camera in and out, and we're not moving the position of the camera unless we orbit. You know, that's all we're doing. We're orbiting a camera. Here, I can show you over here. Where is it? There it is. There, you see the icon on the left side of the screen? See? That's the location of the camera, but it is staying the same distance. Most of the time, it is staying the same distance from me. See? So it is like right now, it's not moving. But if you look in some lines shooting out of it, that's its field of view. So it's like you're taking your hands and you're making a little picture frame. You know, you're making two L's. Hey, look, hand tracking. And you go like this, and you're lining up, you're framing your shot. That's exactly what this is doing, just like a real camera with real field of view. See? So now we're like narrowed in, but we're not really zoomed. Technically, we sort of are zoomed, and we're sort of not zoomed. It's interesting digital conundrum. But the only time the camera gets closer is when it bumps up against something, because the camera does have a collider attached to it. So I have it set to no clip. I have it no clipping. So it is clipping. There we go. I have it set so that will not go through objects with its little collisions here. Yes, Unreal Engine has some amazing things. Amazing things for playing with the camera that you can do some of it in here in Unity in a roundabout way. You know, there are ways to do it. So technically I could do some interpreting, or I'm sure somebody's written a better physical camera for Unity already. But I do have it pretty much approximated for how I would expect a camera to work. So I had to switch some things around. That's why I confused myself when I was playing with the settings down at the bottom right for like focal length. Technically, we're not changing the focal length, but we are changing Unity's version of the focal length. It's a little messy. But yes, no, I would definitely love doing some of that stuff in Unreal. Ooh. But playing with high-res stuff is it's a whole nother ball game. And that's why I was easing myself in with low poly initially. When I started this whole project, that's part of the reason I started with low poly. So it would be easier to model, getting back into 3D modeling, you know, it would be easier to get back into it. I like the aesthetic, you know, I like the low poly, clunky, you know, the chiseled look, right? But yeah, and this flat shading. See, it's an economy. It's an economy of time, because I already don't have a whole lot of time. Which is very unfortunate, because I would love to spend more time in this whole crazy project. I gotta take a little break here and tighten this. I'm making thousands of lenses for cameras. Oh. Well, and that's one of the cool things. If they don't already have... There we go. Let me tighten this up a little bit. If they don't already have, like, lens profiles for a camera, the technical data on most, at least vintage cameras, is out there. Like the lens groupings and, you know, how they will move in the camera. Like, that info is, I believe it's like almost all out there. I don't think there's any really proprietary lenses. I take that back. There absolutely probably is proprietary lenses. But if I wanted to use a Pentax 50 millimeter 1.4, which I have one sitting over there, yeah, you could have it in Unreal and match it up with your physical camera. I know for who was doing that? I don't remember if it was like a YouTube tutorial or some behind the scenes on some kind of production, but they had a tracker, like a Vive tracker kind of deal, just sitting right on top of right on top the camera rig, so that they would have the position of the camera. And that's how they did it for, like, you know, James Cameron did it for like Avatar and all that, you know. They were tracking the camera's position and angle and everything, so they could see exactly what was going on in the computer generated scene. And with things like Unreal and Home VR, it's absolutely possible and open for hobbyists, you know? Not terrible, not expensive in the broad scheme of things, you know, for how it would have been. How it would have been even a few years ago. It was all becoming much more affordable. It just takes, you know, you got the triangle. the quality, the product triangle, I forget exactly what the term is for it. It's like, you know, cost, time, and quality. And you know, the saying is pick two. You know, do you want it to be done fast and inexpensive? Well, then your quality is going to be lower. If you want it to be high quality and, you know, high quality, high cost, oh, then the time will be shorter because you're throwing more money at it, right? We are definitely on the low end of the cost section here because this is my hobby. And I don't have all the time in the world to work on it, unfortunately, but that's also why it is progressing in a nice chill pace. Yes. Okay, we fixed that. Let's hotkey the marker. I think we did that already. So I'm kind of bouncing back and forth. Close that. I'm kind of bouncing back and forth with what I said I was going to do. So item container is now portable. We can drop it on any hard point, any equipment point, and it'll do exactly what I want it to. Awesome. Yes, anything that is grouped under that object, it will toggle them active or inactive. Good. Selected item. This is kind of just for monitoring it, so it should be a serialized field. That's okay. Marker. For now, we are going to add in. I'm just going to make it a game object. We will. Ooh. While we're here. Wait, what? Check this out. IntelliSense has suggested a variable name for my trail renderer. Trail renderer. Okay. Oh, hey, look at this. The trail renderer is used to make trails behind objects in the scene as they move about. Makes sense. Okay. So what we should actually have marker be is a trail renderer. And then we turn it on and off. That's fun. And if we do that, we can also apply other things to it. Like, I'll show you. Okay, first we're gonna do what we were going to do. Marker left eye, marker right eye. and marker marker. For now, we are going to just toggle those on and off. Where is it? Marker marker. And now, because we did that, it should auto-fill in everything. Yes, awesome. Okay, so that'll turn the eyes on and off. Even though we don't currently have a marker right eye. Currently. Just thought of something crazy, making a Cameron UE where your 920C runs in UE. $920C. What would that be? I think I kind of see what you're getting at. Are you saying basically upgrade your webcam and have it be rendering in Unreal as a when you link them, instead of being a crummy 480p Logitech or something, it's like a red. That is a fun idea. That is a fun idea. Something I want to do for here is, how we switch to FPS mode. So I go from the third person camera to the first person, like as if it was VR, from my perspective, is an alternate switch in that mode is it goes to high res mode, RTX mode, if you will, but actually using RTX features. So everything will be like 4K, 8K textures realistically. It'll still all be low poly, but it'll have like super high def textures on it. Like, these plants, you'll see all the the ambience and the shading of a real plant kind of deal. I think that would be a fun exercise anyways. It will require a lot of work to completely retexture everything. That'll require a ton of work because of how these models are UV'd. They're not UV'd for textures. They're UV'd for flat coloring. Ah, boy. So I would essentially have to make my own models and bring them in, or... There's ways to do it. There's definitely ways to do it with level of detail. I just wouldn't be able to use the Cinti models anymore. Or would I? Be an interesting thought experiment there, wouldn't it? Okay, so character rig. Let's get the eyes. The eyes working. Marker. Marker 1. Let's see, it's duplicate. Marker 2. Attach the eye. However, we need to offset you. Oops. Focus. We're focusing on the eye, funny enough. Only the eye to focus. Okay, that should do it. Oh! After stream. Texture mapping. Oh, in here I would have to do texture mapping too. It is just how these assets are textured. Is not, they're using a color-based texture atlas. So you can easily swap color palettes and stuff. Super easy. Which is great for a low polygon world or assets and everything. If I wanted to put a higher def texture on it, I would need to basically make a new version of the props, the assets, with a different UV map. Though I assume, at least in Maya, you can have multiple UV maps assigned to an object. I assume you could in here too. But that's a lot of work for a fun redeem. That's a lot of work for a fun redeem. I'd have to redo a lot of things to get that little punchline to work. Okay, this should be far enough ahead of there. Save that. Let's actually name them. Let's see, marker I left. Marker IL. So we don't have conflicting names. IR. Okay, now we're going to take this into our character rig script. Character rig script. Okay, we're going to make sure this works, and then we're going to go with the next phase. What can we do with the marker? Because right now we just have it as a game object that we're basically showing and hiding. Oh, that looks cool. That looks so cool. Oh, and I don't have them enabled or disabled yet. Ooh, we can zoom right in now. Look at us. Because I adjusted the field of view for how close we could go. That's what we were doing before. And now we can be in the center of the screen because I made a toggle for that a long time ago. To change where the focus of the camera was. So there's a little offset. And also now you can see some of my mouth work. So this model doesn't have, the model in here doesn't have all the same stuff that this one does. Let's a little bigger. See if you notice, for one thing, the eyebrows are different. Because the blend shapes, this one has updated blend shapes. So they're acting more theoretically better. I still don't like how you can't, like this. I want to be angry, but it's not pushing up the corners. So I have to adjust. It's not pushing up the corners here, like it is in the in Unity. I remember that, you know, where I'm pointing, I am pointing twice. So it's a little funny. So that's one of the things I want to fix. Because I like this over in Unity. But it doesn't quite show. It's because just the way that this is actually wrong. This is an error. And this is theoretically how it's supposed to work over in VC Face. Anyways. The mouse stuff. It sounds dirty. Mostly matches up. Because I added a whole bunch of the AR kit stuff. Which, we do have a test. You can see in the VC Face version on the left that moderately successful. Here, it's hard. It's a little bit hard to see with the coloring here. Moderately successful with how it shows up. Now the cool thing is it doesn't have to be this little neon looking part on the left here, floating in front of the real mouth. There's a whole rectangle there that is that has the blend shapes on it. So I can apply a texture to it if I want to. And yeah, do I want it to be like super pixely and moving around? Yeah, that'll work. Do I want it to be teeth, that'll work too. But this is more experimenting and trying to figure it out. Unsuccessful experiment, unfortunately, because I neglected two very important blend shapes on the. Let's see, they're on the left side, which is this side, like the smirk. and the frown. And the funny thing is that the tracking doesn't always pick up those things anyways. I think what I am going to do, because I am a more cartoony-ish figure, is I'm going to remove a whole bunch of the blend shapes. I went through all the work of adding like 24 blend shapes that are in the mouth area for mouth tracking. And I think I'm going to take away like at least half of those, because on a more realistic model, you know, a humanoid face, they pull the little vertices subtly, and I think they'll work better. But on a robot face, you know, a boxy face, I think they just kind of interfere with each other because I'm more cartoony. So if I want, the irony is, if I want more expression, I need less blend shapes, less tracking points. Just kind of a interesting experiment and observation. But for now, these eye trails, they're mostly working. So what I thought of that would fix the clipping at least, of how they go through the model and not just floating in front of it, I can increase the distance, you know, between the trail render point and the polygons of my brains. Or I can have them on a different render layer. Much like what we were experimenting with at the very beginning with the, you know, with this, getting this whole mode to work again. It's like, where does it sit in post-processing? You know, where does it sit in the stack of things that are processed for the camera and effects and such? And for instance, you see on the edges of the screen, you have like the darkened corners, it kind of fades to darkness. That's called vignetting. It's part of my post-processing, along with the color separation here, chromatic aberration. In this case, because we're bluish, it's separating the cyan into blue and green. If we were red, it would be like a purpley blue. So I think if we put this trail render in front of the character in the rendering order, you know, like, so further up on the stack of things that are rendered, I think it would work then. So it'd be like a special effects layer. And then it would always be in front of, that's the problem though, it'd always be in front of the character, me. But for now, I think this is just a fun effect. Would be nice if it stopped spinning around and spazzing out when I'm staying still. But we're going to put that on a hotkey so we can get rid of it anyways. So I think I'm only going to have it active when the drawing is active. Hello, welcome in, fan just here. Playing around, we're cleaning up some code and thinking about how we should be doing certain things. How we are going to be doing certain things, not necessarily how we should be doing them. Oh, should we do a heart for everyone? A heart for the new person? Ta-da! We can do hearts. Yes. Oh, can we do a smiley face? No, because I don't think I can separate them. We'll do circles here for now. Oops, and we're passing through the three-dimensional light show here. Through our head. I do want to do fun things with decals. That was another thing I was going to work on. Maybe not tonight, but like tagging. Think of a decal like, yeah, your spray paint and you're going to tag the walls and such. Because that we can do, and that texture can just go, zoom out. The texture would just be able to go like on the wall, and it would conform to the wireframe of the wall, you know, or wherever you spray it. And I think that'd be a good way to get more effects, more texturing, if you will, on my own model here. because I was thinking about that. It's like, well, I need to add some things on my classic VTuber redeems and such. Like, you know, having a splash of ketchup on my face when I'm feeling mischief, or you know, like, you know, get a little ketchup dripping here, a little splash of here, you know, when I'm feeling mischievous and in a horror game kind of mode. And I was thinking about I'd have to either model it, make it a texture swap, or I'll just use a decal and it'd be like a spray can spraying on my face. How are we doing so far? We are doing pretty good. Let's try something else here. We haven't brought out the splash. Welcome, new people. I am Rusty Robot Factory. We are having this fun little, eventually interactive environment. We're working on my broadcasting environment, which I do want to turn into a game someday. A little adventure series, maybe a little episodic adventure series where you're interacting with the backstory of Rusty here and how things all got to be how they are. But today we're cleaning up some code. We're having I believe it's a chill dev stream tonight is what I changed the title to. So it's not low energy, despite our low energy. But yeah, it just kind of is what it's designed. So we're cleaning up some stuff, doing some more fun doodads and toggles. Hey, wait, where did... Oh, do I have these opposite of each other now? I do have them opposite. That is, that's funny. That's funny. I messed up my toggle, probably based on the active state. We have the marker, and now we have the mischief eyes here. Oops, we want those to be the same, so I gotta go fix that. But yeah, we can draw. So yes, we're just messing with little things tonight. Where is our script? You know what? We're gonna take this. Where's our getting started? We don't have a getting started. Let's see. Would that be a void start? Yes. Wake. I'm gonna set those active. False. See, we're doing a little bit of cleanup, a little bit of oops, come on, get over here. Visual Studio is being helpful. I don't want it to be quite that helpful. Oh wait, what do we got here? Void start. Why is it not liking my void start? Character rig already has a start. Oh, there it is. It was hiding a little bit off screen. I thought it would have a start. There. Nicely cleaned up, Okay, so we got that off the list. So we got the toggle for that. Flipping through the actual paper here. I don't know if the microphone's picking up on that. Oh, we can put the container code on different things now. We can put the container code on different things. So let's put the container code on the hand. Oops, no, we don't want a new script. We want an old script. Item container, let's say, which hand is this? You know what? To keep this straight, I'm going to steal that key and make the head slightly different. The head point is going to be alpha 2. That way I can have left hand 1, center 2, right hand 3, and keeping things a little bit maybe more. But in fact, I did it wrong. I did it wrong already. Alpha 3. Now hand L. Oh, and hand L. Hand L is the one with the box collider. Okay. I'll show you that in just a second here. Item container, where are you? Alphabetical order. There. Okay, so now we can put things in our hands. We have an exhaust trail in our hand, apparently. So that'll be funny. Gonna check my head point. I do have empty head. Okay, so I need to add empties. Literally. Empties. We'll call it empty hand L. Because the order that they are in the hand, the order that they are attached is important for the stack. And I have a flashlight in. Ooh. Okay. I do have the flashlight now equipped, so it will cycle through. Empty hand. Sure. That's okay. We can still toggle it on and off without it being equipped or not. But yes, I do still want to have it, I do still want to have what I was talking through earlier. I do still want to have it be so that when an item is active, you can use it, basically enable or disable whatever it does, you know? So like the flashlight, you click it on and off. Maybe one of the helmets has a headlamp. Same thing. So whatever effect, it doesn't even have to be like an on and off thing. It could be toggling an effect on it. And that would be interacting with the item that is equipped in that spot. Although that's not going to work as, now that I think about it, that's not going to quite work how I think it will. I would need a different, yeah, it would just, I could do like most recent toggle. But no, I would have to have different use keys for each container. Yeah, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work how I was thinking about. Otherwise, it would just do the most recently toggled or activated item, which wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. Okay. However, let's look at this wall. Isn't this wall great? Now we have, is the exhaust trail that was stuck to the hand. as a demo a long time ago. It was a particle effect. I later used this for flying Rusty. Okay. And then the flashlight is now an equipped item. Yep, it's now an equipped item, even though it's not currently visible. I should model a flashlight, or model a flashlight. I should just go grab a flashlight asset and drop it in my hand when this pops up. I could have it be two different versions of the flashlight, like the flashlight toggle, which is this, or the item toggle. I know what I can do. Okay. This makes way more sense. Modifier key. Look, I'm talking at the wall. Isn't that great? Hi, everybody. A modifier key. So just like, currently I have two. The 2 key. Set up to toggle through the headgear. What if I hold shift and press the button? Would that activate it instead of toggling it? There we go. Now I don't need a million more. Yeah. Now I don't need a million more keys. I like this idea already. All right, this is a great idea. Thank you all. We're gonna put that in the notes. Many notes for tonight. What is it? 557. 57. Toggle equipment. And then activate. Activate with modifier key. Like shift or control. Probably control. There. We made notes. Always important. Make some darn notes. Oh, we've gone slightly askew. There we go. I gotta say the phone tracking, really nice. The phone tracking has not been drifting at all. Not like the infamous Joy-Con drift. Which is funny because, let's see, how many of them? I think we have... So we have 4 Joy-Cons, the Nintendo Switch controllers, right? And you can use them with Slime VR, which I'm using for some of the extra full body tracking here. And the funny thing is that it's not just the little joystick that drifts, but the gyroscope also drifts. And so one stream, I was rotating around. I think it got to a point, it got worse, progressively worse. And I was, my top half was rotating around about every 2.5 minutes because of how bad the drift was. And the gyroscope, of all things. We'll see how they handle all those updates with the Switch 2. Very interested in how they're improving upon that. Oh, Nix, did you buy replacement Joy-Cons or... Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So one of our Joy-Cons, it was one of the original ones, it's completely dead. That is why I cannot use, I can't do full body tracking, is because for each leg you need 2 tracking points with the Slime VR. And so we had 4 Joy-Cons. I thought, great! 2 thighs, 2 shins, or ankles. That'd work. Nope, one of the Joy-Cons does not hold a charge. It'll work in the, when it's attached to the Switch. Drifts like crazy. The joystick. Yeah, I replaced 3 of the 4 joysticks with aftermarket replacements because we didn't want to wait, eons for Nintendo to send us a replacement or to fix it back then. Wow. Joy-Con. I forget what the conversion rate is. I know you guys, pay more anyways, but yeah, I forget what the Joy-Cons. New set of Joy-Cons here, I think, is $80, 79. To get them repaired, it's 60. But they will give you half back if it's Nintendo's fault. Yeah, like the first, I think here in the US, you got like one free, one do-over, right? You can send it in once and they replace it. If it happens again, it's like, oh, well, that was your warranty. No, what I did is I bought a like $16 kit off of Amazon. Came with the little triangle screwdrivers and everything. And I needed to use a magnifying glass to get the little ribbons and stuff on the Joy-Cons in the right spots. They are very, very tiny electronics. In fact, I still have the old joysticks. It was an easy repair for me. It was really easy. But no, all it took was time, and they worked for a while. They worked for a couple of years with the replacement joysticks, but now they're all drifting so bad. So I bought, we bought like aftermarket, third party. They fit in the Joy-Con slots, but they don't have any, they don't have any batteries or anything. You have to have them fully attached to the Switch, or we just use wireless controller. I like the 8-bit do or 8-bit do. I guess it's Nintendo, so it's 8-bit do. It's like compatible with your computer, Switch, PlayStation, Xbox. In fact, well, anything with Bluetooth, I should say, which the Switch has. So we just have a couple of those, and they work fantastic because they aren't trying to shove so much into that little candy bar. So much into that little candy bar. Ooh, there we go. Yeah. I could do the Doctor Strange thing. Oh, that would be fun. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Let's see. What is available when you make it a trail render. Oh, the free repair is hard to find. Yeah, the official Nintendo. Yeah, I know when we were looking into that when they first started drifting, there was like an 8-week wait. And so it's like, well, do you really want to be without this for 8 weeks? So I think we just bought another set of Joy-Cons, and I bought a wired controller for myself for the games that I wanted to play. So just plugged into USB. The USB on when it was docked, of course. What was I playing? Well, besides Mario Kart? Did we have Mario Kart? Oh, I was playing Mario versus Rabbids. Actually, really fun. A lot of fun. It's basically XCOM with a cute skin over it. But yes, Mario versus Rabbids. They made a sequel. I never got to that. Never got to the sequel. Marker. Let's see what Marker gets. Man, that is a lot of stuff. Interesting. There's a lot locked behind the trail render that I can't play with at the moment. Let's So theoretically, I should be able to get to any of this stuff. Like emitting. How do I get to emitting? Emitting. Oh. Ta-da! Okay, so we don't need it. Interesting. Emitting is, can we figure out if it's emitting? Oh. Oh, that is dirty. That, yeah, only Nintendo of America was doing the free repair thing. Yeah, that's pretty slimy. I mean, it makes sense. It from a legal, logical standpoint, it makes sense. It's just they should have made it global. They should have made it global. That's right. C# is funky this way. If it's emitting, can I make it not emitting? Marker, marker, marker. And it's a get set. That's interesting. It's get and set. Okay. So this should toggle the light on and off. Let's go find our code we broke. So this, you don't trust Nintendo. I hope they do better with the new Switch. Guess we'll find out in another month or so, right? I don't know if we're still on the waiting list or not. Oops, I didn't set my. I don't think I set my eyes to be false. Okay. Yeah. Am I in here? Oh, that's okay. Hold on. Oops, that's the wrong key. No, it's not toggling it on or off. Okay, I might have to fix that. You won't be buying one? Yeah, my wife's a Nintendo junkie. Pre-sold out. I think we're on a waiting list, or like on the, yeah, I think we're on a waiting list. My wife loves herself some Nintendo. I think we've got, I think we have every home console for Nintendo. Like half of those were hers. I had a Super Nintendo. That was the only one that I had. But yeah, no, we have all the home consoles, I think. Artificial scarcity. Yeah, I don't know. It could be. I mean, it's Nintendo. It could just be, I mean, they know they're going to sell them. Every time there's a home console release, it is sold out for days, you know? Just sold out for days, you know, or days. Metaphorical days. We mean months, if not longer. It could just be the production. You know, the factory only has capacity for X units, right? Okay, so the emitting set to false. I don't think emitting was actually working. Oh, you guys always had enough units in Australia of the Switch and everything. I mean, it's nice. I do like what they're doing to try and cut down on scalpers. They should have done that forever ago. Is essentially you get one for the first wave. You have to you have to have a Nintendo of America, like an online account or whatever they call it. You have to have a Nintendo account, and you can pre-order one. Thank you. You know, I guess if you have a family of with a couple of kids and they each want one, I would assume each account could pre-order one. I would assume. I don't know how children accounts work, but no, that is great. It'll definitely cut down on scalping, because that's what happens every single time is you get scalpers. Why was emitting not actually emitting? Creates trails when it moves. So this might not. Okay, that might not actually be working. So we'll just let's see, marker. We'll just make a Boolean for now, instead of digging into if we can set it active or not, because that's set up slightly different. Okay, where is it? Marker. Private bool is marker. I need a false right away. You go get yourself some food. Almost 10. We'll be on for another a little bit yet. A little bit. I'm eager to get this going. Is seeing how this goes. Seeing how this goes? Yes. Okay, we are going to say is marker is the opposite of is marker. So if it's currently false, we know that's false. And then we're going to say is marker. There. So we're toggling it and then setting that to whether it's on or not. We can do that same thing here too. We'll just put them all on at the same time. There. And that should do it. I mean, that should turn on emitting. Here we can, oops, comment that out. I don't know if that really does anything. We're going to make sure our marker is in fact activated, and let's see. Okay, so it looks like we have that, unfortunately, and it is still going. Where's our key? Where's our key? Yeah, that's supposed to be turning that on and off. And it is not changing emitting over here in the properties. That should be doing this. So there's probably a set emitting. Copy. Ooh. Wait, what? Is that a thing? Is that really a thing? Can I just copy that? M emitting. Oh, you can do that. Okay. Okay. So it's not emitting, even though emitting shows up. So is that a thing? No, that is not a thing. Okay, we are going to do a quick Google. Trail Unity. Trail renderer. Come on, renderer. M_emitting. Script reference. Okay, good, good, good. Okay. Creates a trail when the game object moves. When set to true, trail geometry will be created. Yes, but it wasn't going false. Yeah, let's get rid of this. That's confusing things. Yeah, it wasn't actually setting it, which is the opposite of what it should be doing. Oh my goodness, look at all those. Look at all those classes available to us. Public methods, there we go. Ooh, you can restart the trail by clearing it. Okay. Creates a snapshot of a trail render and stores it in Met. So you could like make a temporary object. Or not so temporary object. So you could draw something and make a snapshot of it. And it would keep it as a mesh with all the little vertices. Welcome in, Dead Sun. Welcome in. We're playing with the trail render. I'm trying to figure out why my emitting is not controlling the emitting. Yeah. You're just getting going right now? Well, thanks for just dropping in, saying hi. Okay, so we've got the trail render. Let's lock the camera here. Okay, so we can draw, and theoretically, this will toggle it off. This is not toggling it off. Also, oh, this is a me thing. This is a me thing. I broke something. Because we should also be getting the eyes. Okay, maybe emitting is actually emitting. You could cast spells away. I was just saying a little while ago I could do the Doctor Strange thing, but I think I would want a particle effect for that. That'd be, yeah. I think I wrote it down. I did not write it down. I'm gonna write it down right now. Doctor Strange toggle. You know, there we go. That's I was just looking up some of the scripting reference. The script, whoa, that was cool. The scripting reference, and you can bake this to a mesh. It'll capture all the vertices and everything, and you could bake this to a mesh. So that would be cool, you know, because it's already in 3D space. Like I can, you know, go all in and out and everything. Bake it to a mesh and then like hang it on the wall or something. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep track of that. I wonder if this is kind of what they do. I mean, I know this is what you can do in VR for drawing, like using a marker tool. So it's probably very similar to what you do in VR for sculpting. And then you save that. Yeah, for whiteboards. Yeah, that too. I should have it lit up in my eyes, but I think I when I fixed my code, I unfixed it a little bit too. So I should have trail renders in my eyes right now to get that cool like taillights look. But I broke something. But no, I just think it's super fun to draw. I have a gradient. I have a gradient on the trail render right now, so it kind of like cools off as it fades. No, I definitely want to add more controls so I can change them while the game is still playing. You know, so I can change like the marker width and all that kind of fun stuff. For like you said, for like a whiteboard. no, that is cool that it's 3D space and then you can capture that. That is super rad. I did not know that. I should really read the reference material more often. For instance, here's a... Yeah, here it is right here. Trail render. Right here, bake mesh. Creates a snapshot and stores it as a mesh. You can also reboot it, you know, so you can make a new one. Get positions of all the vertices, set positions. Yeah, you can do all sorts of stuff. Makes it... I didn't. Is that on the YouTubes? Is that on the YouTubes or is it on Discord? Mask interaction. Here we go. Oh no, it's just sprite mask. Okay, emitting creates trails when the game object moves. So that's what I... YouTubes. Yes. And you know what? Let's do a proper shout out here too. Shout out. If you aren't already following Dead Sun Prime, go give him a follow. Super cool. Got a Discord and everything. Posting cool stuff. Working on cool projects. Emitting. Why is my emitting now? But yeah, no, I haven't stopped by recently. I've been super tired because my littlest one, my littlest robot, does not want to sleep through the night. And therefore, I do not get to sleep through the night. So, yeah, that's why we had to cancel Monday's stream, because I was dead tired. And then the previous Monday was because we had nice sinus and cold running through the house. So it's been a rough couple of weeks. Lots of being sleepy. Ooh, I'll have to, let's see, open in a new tab. Oh, nice. Nice, nice. So you got the connections to all sorts of things going, not just Kick. Goes to the Stream Deck and everything. Now it's now Tentacle is I know you gotta probably get going, but Tentacle, is it Unreal Engine specific, or is it its own thing that kind of sits in the background? Because I need to hook up some kind of interactive thing, and it's its own thing. Yeah, because I need to do something with, you know, to get the hooks. We can go to Unity. I will I'll be contacting you about that if it's ready to rock and roll. A little ways off though. I got to get the whole project consolidated first. This is my testing grounds currently. But yes, definitely. I will definitely be giving you a buzz about that. When I want to be able to get info in and out without having to write my completely own thing. I do that enough. I'm only willing to DIY so much. Yes, I will check out the video. Got it. We're gonna save that. There. Save to watch later. And I actually watch my watch later, so that's even better? More amazing? Okay, let's fix this script, and then I'm gonna have to rock and roll. Let's see. Is marker, is marker, is marker, is marker. Why is my bool? Why is my bool not is markering? So, is marker equals false. No, don't hide the bodies. It always wants me to hide the bodies. Did you see that? Terrible. Okay, marker is visible and emitting. I mean, I can still just control it without using the emitting. Okay, you are not supposed to be doing anything. What is going on here? I broke it something. His marker is opposite of his marker. And these are all... Did I do something silly? I don't think I did something silly. We'll give it one more shot. This is the problem with programming late at night. Well, late at night for me anyways. Look at that. Oh well. Anywho. I think on this lovely note, first of all, I'm going to undo what I broke. Marker equals is marker. Is it always get key up? Huh. I mean, it should just be setting it to the opposite, but I'm wondering if it's doing it too fast and therefore is getting messed up somehow. Anyways, we're just going to probably go back to this way. Comment this out for now so that it's not broken. Oops. And then do not marker left eye is active. Wait. Active self. Active self. Oh, come on, go away. Is trying to be too helpful again. There we go. Marker right eye. There we go. Marker right eye. Marker left eye. We're going to set marker back from a trail render to game object. Marker emitting. And our code should be fixed. Should be. Should be. It might be opposite again. We'll see. We'll see, and then we're going to call it a night. Yep, it's opposite again, but that's okay. But that's okay. We got our cool eyes. We got a rockin' soundtrack. There we go. Oh, okay. We can draw. We can draw. Drawing's fun. Let's teleport. Whoa. Okay, that was kind of cool. So, FYI, teleporting moves us, it actually moves our body to the point. It doesn't like unspawn and respawn. It moves it and then physics plays catch up. Well, when you've got something like, here, let's switch it to the cool one. Watch this. Chew. Oh, that is hilarious. You can see us, you can see it playing catch up. We're moved to a point, our body is moved to a point slightly above the surface, so I drop in and don't get stuck in weird collisions. And that's why it goes zoop and then bounces down. So yes. This is the it's the little things here. It's the little things here. All right, we're gonna lock in the camera here. Let's look at the camera. Let's look at the camera. Hello, hello, all of you. Lock the camera, and we're gonna go hunt for someone to raid. 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 Doom, 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 doom. And I know who I'm going to raid. Happened to be here earlier. We're gonna go raid some Dead Sun Prime. Thank you all for stopping by tonight. There's a chill coding dev dream. There we go. We'll stay with that. We do have a raid message. Well, first of all, we have a YouTube, and I think I updated I did update the command, and it fits nicely in the little window. I added the VODs channel, which I have been slowly adding the old streams to. I think I'm on last May. I think we're on May now, maybe June. We're slowly playing catch up here. You know, let's do the hand. I like the hand. There we go. We'll make sure to do the Doctor Strange thing. You want to experiment this though. It was pretty cool when you can capture the mesh, so you can actually draw it. And there were other code snippets for getting the vertices and stuff. So I imagine that's how you can make it interact with things. But capturing the mesh and then using it as a collider is pretty cool. Anyways, thank you all for stopping by. We're gonna go raid Dead Sun. Have yourself some dancing dinos. Let's go.